remain an open, closed, under dictatorship, because if they open up, they were going to revolt against him. That's the negative Kamuzubanda. The negative Kamuzubanda believed that Malawi should remain what it was, no development, no freedom of speech, people should not be free because they might rise up against him. That's the negative part of him. Now let's bring the positive Kamuzubanda. The positive Kamuzubanda believed that Malawi can develop. He went around the world and asked people, explorers, to come and explore the minerals underground. And really, the explorers came and told him that there are 15 different mines under your soil. And Kamuzubanda had that positive mind that, you know what, this country must have 4 cornerstones. Unity, loyalty, obedience, and discipline, because that's the foundations that builds a nation together. That was the positive Kamuzubanda. The positive Kamuzubanda believed that whenever he built an infrastructure, it must be an everlasting. This is why all buildings that Kamuzubanda built, they are still living today. And if you look at those that after democracy we built with that negative mind, all of them are not there. If roads, then you can't talk about, you cannot even point the bitumen. It's now back to dust roads. Positivity. Well, let me talk to the incumbent president, President Lazarus Chakwera. Let's talk with the Lazarus Chakwera of negativity. The negative president is afraid to cleanse the rubble, who is afraid to stand his ground and be a transformer. He do not want to look like a dictator even though the country is going astray. This is the person too much afraid to confront corruption. He's afraid of fighting it head on. He's afraid to tap on the minerals on the country because his fear is circumstances thereafter. The fear is that we don't know what will happen after. Maybe there will be war, people will fight. I don't want my country to be in fight. That's negative Chakwera. Now let's look at the positive Chakwera. Then there is the Lazarus Chakwera of positivity, who envisioned a Malawi without corruption. Who envisioned a Malawi where all state thieves languishes in jail and all the money stolen retained in state coffers. This is the Chakwera who is ambitious and opulence. He wants to be the president that Africa and Malawi can be envy of because he wants to develop Malawi beyond recognition. The challenge that all of us face today is between the negative me and the positive me. When we let them fight, who will win? So this house of Santos Juma, the house of Lazarus Chakwera, the house of Saul Chilima, the house of you, John, Joseph, Nkandawire, Moffat, your house should now open the door and remove the negative John. Throw him away. You remain with the positive one. Because if Mr. Chakwera, the president, chooses the Chakwera of positivity, this country in 5 years will be different. Will never be the same again. So it's our choice as a country that we choose the positive of us and remove the negative part of us. Mindset change too. The two personalities in a human being are not imaginary personalities. They are real, for they can scientifically be proven. Records tell that a psychologist and clinical researcher, Martin Seligman, who studied the effects of optimism or positive thinking for 25 years, has proven that there are two personalities in each and every human being. The negative one and the positive one. His research is but one scientific example of many available that have demonstrated the power that our thoughts can possess over our destiny. The study reveals man has many other priceless assets of which you may not be aware. They are hidden riches you have never recognized or used before. That's a good challenge. Because if you are challenged that there is priceless assets that we have but we have not used it, it's time to start hunting for them. Within us or outside us. Let's find them and we can achieve life. Case in point, 18 million people of Malawi will not agree that their country has net worth of minerals tuned or paged at 22.2 trillion, not billion, trillion US dollars on the 15 minerals that I mentioned last week. On Friday, I gave you 15 lists of minerals that Malawi is having. I received a value today of all minerals that we have, 15 of them, and I'm told that we are rich to the tune of 22.2 trillion American dollars under our soil. And that is regardless of water, not agricultural soil, but only minerals that I mentioned. And the report says that is the minerals that Dr. Kamuzubanda explored with his government. Now they gave me another list of the minerals that were found 10 years ago. Gold, niobium, and emeralds. They reminded me that I forgot emerald. We have emeralds in Malawi. They say only these three are valued at 100.50 trillion American dollars. Now, let me talk to traditional chief in Lundu, Paramount Chief Kyungu, Paramount Chief Mberwa, Paramount Chief Kawinga, Paramount Chief in Cholo Chigumbu. This country is rich 122 trillion American dollars. I want to ask why our women are dying when giving birth in hospitals because of electricity. Yet we have so much dollars underground. It's time to go and ask our presidents and governments to say, why are you sleeping? Maybe prove me wrong that I'm lying. But I want to tell you, after 20 June 2021, I research my stories before I come here. New reports reaching my office indicate that Malawi has new other minerals such as opal, cobalt, amber, copper, crystals, porcelain, agri oil, mure, and frankincense. Some of these minerals, I don't know them, and I've never heard about them, but we have them in Malawi. A human mind is like a radio station. It picks up and sends information to all parts of the world. It reaches out up into the cosmos. That's how a human being is. When your negative personality is in control, your radio station picks up only the negative thought vibrations being sent out by hundreds of millions of people of other negative personalities throughout the world. The negativity translates itself into its equivalent. Now, when the negativity translates itself into equivalent, that's abject poverty. That's suffering. That's death. Dying while you are alive. We don't need to accept that. When your positive personality is in control, it picks up only the positive thought vibration being released by millions of other positive personalities throughout the world and translates them into their physical equivalent in terms of prosperity, sound health, love, hope, faith, peace of mind, and happiness. The values of life for which you and every other normal person are searching. So why being poor? Why are we suffering? Mindset change number 3 and the last one. The challenge of embracing new ideas. Human progress has always been slow because people are reluctant to accept new ideas. I'll repeat that because it's very important. Human progress has always been slow because people are reluctant to accept new ideas. When Samuel Morse announced his discovery of a telegraph, instead of welcoming it, the world scoffed at him, laughed at him, mocked him. They had never seen such a system before. It was unorthodox. It was new, therefore it created suspicion and doubt. In the same way, Malawians are suspicious and in doubt with Tonse Alliance government led by MCP, whose leader is Lazarus Chakwera. Much of the noise that we hear in Malawi today about Tonse government, it's not that Tonse government in 1 year has committed any atrocity. Nothing. They have not committed any crime, they have not committed any atrocity, but the phobia of new things. Because we are used with the face of Mr. Peter Mutharika. We are used in the face of the Atubele Mulusis. We are used on the face of people that we believe can be leaders. When someone new comes, that's unorthodox. It cannot be acceptable. That is the problem of Malawi. So, sometimes we need to ask ourselves a question, why the noise? Let us embrace new ideas. Because that's the only way development will come from. Many people today are advocating shamelessly that DPP must come back into power, or wish if President Peter Mutharika had come back into power, forgetting that under DPP, TPEX was used to rig elections. The pin of the president, the secret password, was used by people to steal from the president. Forgetting that there have been rampant corruption cases involving billions. Freedom fighters were killed, hunted, arrested, and the country was blanketed in fear. But there are very other people